Hello everybody, this is State Representative Eric Estevez. Last week was a very sad day for the town of Salem and in many ways the state of New Hampshire. Rockingham Park closed after 110 years. This was a huge tragedy not only for the community but for me personally. The closure of Rockingham Park is another example of the failed leadership here in the state of New Hampshire. There is no reason why Rockingham Park should have closed. Again, for 22 consecutive years, the people at the State House, the political insiders at the State House, could not pass an expanded gaming bill. In my opinion, that's an insult to the people of Salem. Secondly, it was a huge missed opportunity for Salem and the state of New Hampshire. Rockingham Park from the 30s until in many ways the late 60s provided approximately 25% of the state revenue. Rockingham Park was also a sense of pride for the community, and it was an exciting place to be. There was a gentleman by the name of Lou Smith. Lou Smith was the owner of Rockingham Park many years ago. He made Rockingham Park one of the most glamorous racetracks in the entire United States. So many celebrities visited Rockingham Park. So many great horses and champion jockeys competed at Rockingham Park. There was a train that used to come up and drop thousands of people off at Rockingham Park every day. These people contributed to our economy. And in many ways, they contributed to the history of Rockingham Park because they made Rockingham Park one of the greatest tracks in the history of horse racing. Well, not only was Rockingham Park special for the community, in many ways it was special to me personally because my family worked at Rockingham Park. The reason why I, Eric Estevez, is in New Hampshire is because of Rockingham Park. My mother and father, they were jockeys at Rockingham Park. They competed at Rockingham Park. And at the time, Rockingham Park was a great, great track. And I remember many, many great races at Rockingham Park. I remember the New Hampshire Sweepstakes, which was the most prestigious race at Rockingham Park. It was usually run on the 4th of July every year, and my dad used to compete in that race. And it was so fun watching my dad compete in that race at Rockingham Park with some of the greatest jockeys in the world. I'll never forget, back in 1991, my father, he was the leading jockey in a number of racetracks across the country at that time, and he came to Rockingham Park specifically for that race. And the jockey who had won the Kentucky Derby won the race that year. And it was just so exciting to see my dad compete with some of the greatest jockeys in the world at Rockingham Park. My family member, Rudy Baez, he was the top jockey at Rockingham Park. I think he's the most winningest jockey in Rockingham Park history. Even though I had a lot of fun times at Rockingham Park and a lot of great memories, there was also a lot of sadness. My relative Rudy Baez was paralyzed at Rockingham Park on August 4th, 1999. He was paralyzed from the chest down in a horse race. Well, what happened was, it was August 4th, 1999. Rudy was on the 1 horse in a 7-horse field, and one of the jockeys on the outside came in on him, and the other jockeys came in front of him, and the horse clipped heels, which means the horse tripped over the horse in front of him, and Rudy went down. There's a lot of tragedies that happened on that track. There was a lot of people that were killed on that track. There were a lot of people that were paralyzed and permanently injured. My mother got injured very bad. My mother was the leading jockey at Rockingham Park. In March 1992, she was injured very bad in a race, which ended her career. Her name was Paula Vezina, and my father's Raphael Estevez. So my mother and father were both very talented jockeys who competed at Rockingham Park. And
were you there before or after the fire?
I was there after the fire. The fire actually was in 1980. It was in the summer of 1980. And it's interesting you say that because before the fire, Rockingham Park was called Little Saratoga. Now, Saratoga Racecourse is a very famous racetrack located in Saratoga, New York, Saratoga Springs, New York. It's actually, I believe, the oldest sporting venue in the world. And Rockingham Park looked like Saratoga. It was wooden, it was historic. And after the fire, they rebuilt Rockingham Park. I believe it opened in 1983 or the beginning of 1984. The only part of Rockingham Park that is original is the administration building. Because it was not touched by the fire. It survived the fire. But the original grandstand burnt down in 1980, and the new grandstand was built in the early 80s. But even so, it was beautiful. The infield was beautiful, the flowers, the landscape. But not only was the landscaping beautiful, the people were beautiful. There used to be a dress code there. So that's why it's sad for me, because I remember the way it was. I think it's unfortunate that this new generation never knew Rockingham when it was Rockingham Park. They remember the Rockingham of what it looks like now. And it's unfortunate that an entire generation of people in this community never had the opportunity to experience Rockingham for what it was. And that just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because Rockingham Park was it was like a member of the family. It was a part of the family. And it really put Salem, New Hampshire on the map. I don't care if anybody who was anybody, when they came to New England, they had to come to Rockingham Park. And if those walls could talk, the celebrities that walked through there over the years, it's just absolutely amazing. And it's a terrible tragedy that it is closing. But I do hope that no matter what happens to Rockingham Park, and as a member of the United States Congress, I will make this a top priority. We need to preserve the history of Rockingham Park. Because if we get where we came from, we will forget who we are. We should at least make a portion of the racetrack a National Historic Site, so future generations will be able to go there and experience Rockingham Park the way it used to be, and be able to tell their children that at this piece of property once stood the great Rockingham Park, where great horses and jockeys competed, great celebrities visited, and it was a place that Salem, New Hampshire was proud of. Now that Rockingham Park is gone, I don't know if we can ever recover from this tragedy. We'll do the best we can, but there's always going to be a piece of Salem that is no longer with us. And that's how I feel about the closure of Rockingham Park.